Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco. Dish out on the movies. Today we are reviewing the latest episode of Fallout. It's episode 7, and this is season 2. And Marco just told me the name of it, but I don't remember the name of it because I was memorized the wrong one.
Is your dementia kicking in, Safi?
Marco, be quiet.
Is your early...
And this also was for me, I thought the episode was all over the place.
Yeah.
It was kind of like getting rained on with Skittles.
Do you remember what happened?
A very different color.
Do you remember what happened in the episode, Safi? Or
I have it all written down.
Has the dimension taken over?
No, I have it all written down.
Well, that's good.
There was a lot more... Okay, I'll just get this. Of course, they covered a part of the season that I don't care for much, and that's the one with the eye patch girl. And they did focus on that a little bit more this week. Like they showed where, how she came to be there, or at least where she came from and how she got to the United States. And also the missing guy,
Woody.
What happened with him? Now, what happened was Chet, whatever they're supposed to be married, and Chet,
they're engaged.
They're engaged, but they're supposed to go through a marriage ceremony, and there's posters and everything, and he's doing the dishes or he's cleaning in the sink, and it's clogged, and he puts his hand down in the garbage disposal, and he finds something solid or wiry in there, and he pulls out, and it's glasses, and they're the glasses of the missing man. So now when he does that, I'm thinking, are those the glasses of the missing man, and did he kill him or did his wife?
Why would he kill him?
I don't know, because I'm just like, what is the deal?
That doesn't make sense at all.
What is the relationship?
That doesn't make sense.
I don't get the relationship at
all.
Well,
in the first season, it was supposed to be like the relationship in Twin Peaks between Ed and the eye patch girl. You know, how she was kind of like the stronger one in the relationship, and he was just kind of reluctantly with her, and he just kind of followed her, and he was really in love with Norma. And then, of course, in season 3, he gets with her. So this was that. That's what this was supposed to be. That relationship. And I guess we're starting off with that whole storyline. Safi just kind of jumped in like a child jumping into a little pool. Like one of those little tiny pools that you get in the backyard.
Well, they've been alluding to this something nefarious going on with her for
jump right in.
A few weeks, and I'm like. Well, what is it? What we really still... Well, maybe Marco understood what it is.
She's blonde.
Well, no,
that's what's nefarious. She's got blonde hair.
She's a cold-blooded killer, though. She's actually... she has killed. They showed these scenes, and to get over the border.
Right off the bat, we see her in Canada with, I guess, her mother.
I was thinking that was her girlfriend,
sister, or something. I don't know, but like. The sister or mother, or whatever, she gets killed by Americans, I guess, and then she tells the eye patch girl that she needs to treat everyone like they're all Americans, and that was really bizarre.
It is, especially right now.
And then she goes on a killing spree. She kills 2 people. One of them, she only kills him because he says, "Hey, beautiful." He calls her beautiful.
Yeah, but he was a border guard, and she I don't know if he would have let her go through or not. I don't know. I don't know about that.
To me, it doesn't
matter. She killed him.
To me, it kind of seemed like she just killed him because he called her beautiful. Like she could have just ran or whatever. But that's what I got from that. But regardless. It was such a weird place to start this episode. Like, oh, now we're gonna have flashbacks from her. Like, like every single thing in this show, every single sequence that starts, I just go like this.
was the only, but for her, this was the only
because
flashback.
I just feel like I'm so disoriented. Safi, be quiet. I just feel so disoriented. I feel so confused. And it almost, it's like sickening. Because I just want to focus on like one story or two stories or three. I don't want to focus on like all these different stories, all these different characters. Like, it's so stupid. It's such a bad way of writing. It's a bad way of storytelling because there's too many things to balance. It almost gives you a headache. And I was looking on Twitter at someone who was posting about like the lore of the game and all this stuff, and I was like, God, this is giving me a headache. Like, there's just so much crap that you have to keep track of and you have to know about to understand what's going on in the show, and it's just so bad. Well, it's so bad.
It's like wading through the weeds.
Yeah, and just opening up on a flashback from her character was such a bizarre choice. Like, I'm sorry, I don't care. I could not care less about that character. I don't care. That's not the main story. I don't really even care what happens to all the people in the vault. I don't care. It's Fallout, but I care about the stuff happening on the surface with the main characters. I don't care about this vault SNL sitcom murder mystery. It's almost like a Fargo season in the vault. It's like a Fargo season where like there's some kind of mystery going on and anyone could die and just a bunch of people make stupid decisions because it's funny. That's like what happens on Fargo. Right, Safi?
Yeah.
You love Fargo, so...
Well,
yeah.
So anyway, they're getting married. Well, there's something else that happens too, but they're doing the marriage ceremony, okay? And then he kind of brings it up. He's supposed to say "I do." Well, he won't. He said "I don't" or something.
Yeah.
Which was kind of funny.
I like that whole scene just because of him, just because it was like a tiny bit of character development.
And he tells him about finding the glasses, and then he tells him how he found her driver's license, and he says she's not even American. She's from Canada.
Well, he also says she's 200 years old.
And she's 200 years old.
And she killed that guy. She killed Woody. So after hearing all that, everyone in the vault, including Chet, chase her into her office, and she is trapped in her office. And some people have said that we should like this because this is what's happened in other vaults before. You know, and that is a fair point because in the games, you go to these vaults and everyone's already dead. And all you do is just listen to audio tapes or you read a bunch of computer screens and you find out what happened in the vault. Mm. So we are seeing live like the downfall of this specific vault. But to that, I would say, who cares? You know why? Because this whole vault storyline doesn't really matter at all.
Well, I don't like it. Okay, I don't like it at all. And there's another part to it. And
secondly, is that I think if you want to see like the downfall of a vault, then you could just add that in as like a separate story for like one episode. Like you could have you could have the Ghoul and Lucy go into a vault and everyone's dead, and we could see a flashback sequence that shows us what happened in that vault, and we could see the whole downfall. So we don't have to see that excruciatingly long and drawn out story told in real time with this stupid vault, these two vaults. I don't care about any of these people, the incest club, the dessert group. I don't care about the Afro woman with the the water problem.
That's Betty.
I don't care. I don't care at all. Safi, what do you have to say?
Well, we have to bring up the fact when she ran to her office to get away from everybody, before that incident happened, before the wedding, she had a meeting with Betty, and she wanted this special suitcase. I guess you know what's in it. I don't.
Why would I know what's in it?
Okay, well, she wanted this special suitcase, or what was in the special suitcase, and from Betty. So Betty gets that out before she shows up. But the agreement is that Eye Patch Girl has to divert some of their water to Vault 33. And so they have this little tete-a-tete, and Eye Patch Girl leaves with the suitcase. So when she runs back to her office after that wedding, the suitcase is there. And then they don't show anything else. So that was it, but I don't know what else to say about it.
Well, you can say what you thought of it because that's what a review is. But
I don't. I just, like I said, this is my least favorite part of the season.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I have to say about it as a reviewer.
Well, she also that was what you call short and sweet.
Yep.
But she also threatened the Afro girl. She threatened her and said, like, oh, well, we promised that we would give you water, but I can't say anything about the future. And so, again, like, this season, I think I found the perfect way of describing what's going on, which I think maybe others have used this term before, but they're breadcrumbing. It's like they're leaving, with all these stories and all these different characters, they're leaving a trail of breadcrumbs for the audience. Yeah, for the audience to follow, and it never seems like it's going anywhere. Like, this has been a whole season and barely anything has happened at all, and most of what's happened is really just kind of like, who cares? You know, like, there's really hardly... This feels like the first half of a season that needs to get better in the second half. Like, this season is a complete disaster. And it feels like we're heading for a mid-season finale, and then the second half hopefully will actually be good and things will actually happen.
And it's true, because next week is the finale.
Yeah, so we will get more breadcrumbs next week, because a lot of people think it's going to be a cliffhanger, which it has to be. They can't wrap all this up in one episode.
No way.
They wish, they wish they could do that, but no. So we're going to get some more breadcrumbs. You like eating breadcrumbs, Safi? I don't. This isn't Hansel and Gretel. This is Safi and Marco.
No, like I said, this is my least favorite part. Now, I want to make sure that I understand. Norm is from this vault, and he got locked out, right? This is Vault. He was from Vault 33.
What?
Norm. Was he from Vault 33?
I can't remember which number corresponds with which one. He was in the vault with I can't remember. He was in one of the vaults, and he went into another vault that hadn't been opened up yet, and he got trapped in that one. So it was a separate vault that he got trapped in, but he was originally from one of those two, the main ones.
Well, let's go to him now, because there's nothing else to say about this.
Yeah.
It's over. Okay.
Now, Norm's story is basically like 1 minute long.
Yeah.
And it's
not good, poor thing.
But again, like, this is terrible storytelling. Like, how could you do this? Like, how could you do this? I will say this. There have been seasons of TV where they have balanced multiple stories well. And I would say the number one example would be Better Call Saul Season 2. Because in that season, you had Jimmy's story, Kim's story, and then Mike's story and Nacho's story. That's 4 different stories. They had 10 episodes. They balanced those stories really, really well. It still kind of felt jarring to me, though, like, looking back, because it almost felt like they didn't want to make any more spin-offs of Breaking Bad, so they kind of shoehorned in all these other stories to that show. You know, like they should have just focused more on Jimmy, and you know, eventually they stopped focusing on him at all, basically. You know, and then it became Better Call Kim, but still, that season 2 did a great job with that. So if you want to see a good example of a TV show balancing like different stories, then you should watch that. Now, Safi, talk about Norm's minute
Poor
cameo.
Norm got knocked out last week. Well, that bad guy and 2 other people from the vault.
The brown noser.
They knocked him out again. And then the 3rd time, he woke up and the Asian girl who had worked there, wherever they are, she was trying to help him, and she said, we gotta go. And he gets on the intercom. He said, Lucy, I'm up above the ground, and I need help. And he was trying to reach her. And where she was, if she'd been near that place where it was being transmitted, she would have heard him. But she wasn't. So then those guys came back, and they had mean looks on their faces, and that was it. So that was the end of Norm. I mean, nothing else happened with him.
So. You want to speak up a little bit, Safi?
I'm not feeling well. So anyway.
Oh, well, that's typical, so.
That was the end of Norm. They didn't show anything else with him.
And that was like a cameo.
Yeah, really, really. It was.
And I was really upset with that because they showed that in the trailer. And I thought, you literally showed his only minute of television in the trailer. Like, that's how bad the show has gotten. And so then I guess we're left with another stupid flashback with the ghoul. Cooper is a human. We see the eye patch girl actually worked for Lucky 38. And it seems like she just... I don't know what she is. Like, her character is trash, but, like, she's like a mystery. She's like a chameleon of some kind. And she wanted to get, like, survive. That's all that she's about, is just survival. Which, it doesn't really make sense with, like, okay, well, what's going on in the vaults? Like, what is she doing in the vaults, then? It doesn't... So, I don't know. I really don't know. But she asks Cooper about how to get a job at Vault-Tec, and he says to ask that guy. And we see Kyle, and she takes him away in a maid's cart. So I guess she asks Kyle, she gets into Vault-Tec through Kyle's character, Hank. And so there's that little breadcrumb. So now that we're done with that breadcrumb, there's another breadcrumb where apparently Cooper gave the cold fusion to the President of the United States, played by Clancy Brown. And the reason why this is significant, apparently, is because the President is a part of the Enclave. And the Enclave is like the Brotherhood of Steel, but even more retarded. Or actually, no, I don't know. They're both kind of equally retarded, and Bethesda has a fetish for the Brotherhood of Steel and the Enclave. I personally don't care about either of them.
Well, this congresswoman who, in real life, she would not be a congresswoman because she wouldn't be any politician. She's terrible. So she's really, I don't think she's a good actress. Okay, I really the part. She's extremely weak. I mean, I watch politics all the time, and she would never make it. She wouldn't even be elected. But anyway, she is a congresswoman of something. Don't ask me where or anything. And she tells Cooper to give this little thing of fusion, to give it to the President of the United States, and he'll do the right thing with it. whatever that means. And that was it. And so that's why he gave it to him.
Yeah.
But what happens at the end of the episode? What does Lucy find in her exploration of her father's dwelling?
Well, first, I'd like to say that I like the idea. I like the little tiny breadcrumb, because I'm trying to be positive here, even though the show's terrible now. I like the I like the fact that Cooper gave that to the president, trusting him, and it was a huge mistake because then obviously the apocalypse happened, and now all these years later, some people have said he has to correct his mistake somehow. I like that. I think that's a really cool idea. That's a really cool little breadcrumb. If that had been the whole story, the whole season for him, I would have really liked this season. So maybe that'll be the story for next season, and it'll be really good. But, you know, it's a breadcrumb, so what are you going to do? And then Lucy... Wait, what storyline were we on? Oh, yeah.
We're still talking about
the ghouls' flashbacks. Well, let's go to let's just jump around to the other breadcrumb. But Lucy, at the end of the episode, she finds, because we still have to talk about her bizarre story with her father that was really bizarre. She finds the mainframe where you have to shut it down in order to undo all of these mind control chips. And the mainframe is the senator's chopped off head that is connected somehow. I don't know what's going on there.
It's bizarre. It reminds me of something, and I can't think of what it is. Maybe some full moon movie we've watched or whatever. I don't know, but it reminds me of something.
It's weird.
Her head is in a display. Oh, like Beauty and the Beast. Remember the flower, the wilting flower, and the glass display case, and who is it? They've got to find it to turn the beast back into the prince.
What?
And the flowers, it's a rose, and it's falling apart.
No, Safi, he has to find a woman who loves him before the rose completely falls apart.
Oh, right, but anyway, it's that kind of a display thing, and it has the head of the shitty politician.
Yeah.
And she's connected to all these wires.
So people have
head.
Yeah, and I will say, Safi, it's not weird for Fallout. You'll see that somewhere else in the coming future. But it's different. But it's like a big question mark. Well, apparently, other people have surmised maybe she betrayed the Enclave, or she betrayed Vault-Tec, so Kyle killed her and did that to her. I don't know. I don't know, because
they don't show any flashback to that.
We're making the story ourselves now. Like, I don't know.
Well,
I'm not going to do that.
Unless they do a flashback next week or
she talks.
Or whatever. But they don't say how she jumped from being in the car with the President of the United States to being in a glass jar, as a head in a glass jar.
It was. I don't think it was in a jar.
No, it's a display case. It's a display thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was weird.
So, and all these other things, we wonder about that stupid eye patch girl, and how she got to be where she is. Well, they show that in the flashback. They kind of, it's better explained. But this thing, no. Not explained.
You realize, Safi, we still have 3 other storylines to go through?
Okay, so we see Lucy, and what does Lucy have? I guess she was trying to pretend to her dad, because she ends up handcuffing him to the stove.
She wasn't pretending.
She wears this stupid sundress.
No, let's get this straight, because people have theorized about this too. Some people think that he put a chip in her neck that was smaller. He put a smaller chip in her neck because he says in this episode that the bigger chips, the damage that they do can't be undone. So maybe he put a smaller chip in her which her hair is covering somehow.
Could be.
And so that's why at first she's on his side and she wants to do these mind control chips. Because at first, I will say this, they introduced another breadcrumb that I thought could potentially be really, really interesting, which is the idea of Hank, his plan. I don't know, because the whole time it seems like Hank has another evil plan in the works that he's just not saying yet. But he says that he wants to go find all the Legion and put chips in all the Legion people. And Lucy says she'd like to do that as well, I guess. So they would do that together. And I thought, that's kind of an interesting idea. It's kind of an interesting idea because it's kind of stupid, but it's also kind of entertaining. But it's just, it was so weird. Like, why is Lucy buying into this stuff? Maybe because she has a chip in her neck already. But I would have liked that, honestly, because I like the idea of a villain and hero working together. And I also like the idea of making the Legion like the big bad guys. Because they are bad enough to be the biggest bad guys. Although I do think that there are worse ones in the Fallout universe. So she's on board with him initially, and then they're having dinner, and one of the NCR troopers from earlier in the season, he is there. He brings her water.
Well, he's like their waiter. He brought everything.
No,
and she recognized him, and she asked him about seeing if he recognized her.
I think it was just the water, but she asked him, and he did not remember, and she realized, oh, wait a second, well, actually, the flawed thing about, putting chips in people, just like in real life, is that you wouldn't only be putting chips in the bad guys, you would be putting chips in the good guys, too. Like, oh my God, I never would have thought of that. That's such a wrinkle in the idea. Like, I never even thought of that before. Like, if we had a debate about it, like, oh no, like, chips are a great idea. Mm-hmm. Right, Safi? Like, that's stupid. She never considered
I don't like
that?
this episode at all. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just don't like it. I don't like it.
So, Safi's checked out. So then she goes to help her dad because her dad burns his hands. I didn't buy that either, by the way.
She set him up, hon. She wanted
No,
to...
he burned his hands.
Yeah,
How did he so easily burn his hands? I think he did that on purpose because he wanted her to do everything that she did.
Oh, well, who knows? I don't know.
Because it was weird. It was very weird. He burned his hands getting out a pie or something. She goes up to help him, and they have a discussion because he says the NCR is just as bad as the Legion, which I don't think that Safi would think that now because Safi doesn't really know anything about the NCR yet, but they are just as bad as the Legion. Mm. But Lucy doesn't know that, so Lucy gets mad. She throws a tantrum, and she handcuffs him to the oven. Yeah. And then she goes to shut down the mainframe. That's when she discovers the chopped off head.
But she doesn't even know who this person is.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The only time they've ever showed this person when she was a person was in the flashbacks. And Lucy wasn't around then. She was either not born or a baby. So she doesn't... she doesn't know. It's just she's like, what is this? Who is this? She has no idea.
So that whole storyline, I did not like at all. I thought it was... It just feels like all these stories can't really breathe because there's too much other stuff going on. So, that's what happens. And then the second to last one... God, this is so much shit. I'm glad that I'm not the only one doing this review because, talking about this many storylines, again, it's almost kind of sickening. It feels like you're on a merry-go-round and it's going like 100 miles an hour. So the next one is Maximus, Thaddeus, and the Ghoul. The Ghoul has Maximus get this NCR power armor, and they all go to Vegas.
But wait a minute.
Oh God.
Maximus has that blue stuff, and this armor.
Yeah.
He gives the Ghoul the blue stuff.
It's called Cold Fusion, Safi.
Cold Fusion. Well, there's more to it than that. It's called something else too. But anyway,
yeah.
So they go to this place. It has all these arms. It has, weapons. It has bullets.
Safi,
they take all that stuff up and the armor, and they head off to go find Lucy and his family.
Go to Vegas, and then they go to Vegas, and Thaddeus's arm falls off.
Which that was kind of a goofy, lighthearted.
No, that's another thing that people are theorizing about. People are saying maybe he's turning into something else, like a centaur, which you haven't seen those in the games yet either. Mm-hmm. So, but it's just another thing where it's like, oh, here's a little breadcrumb, for the fans. Like, we're gonna jangle the keys. They even had a line where the Ghoul said, "Never underestimate brand recognition." Like, sometimes it feels like the writers are speaking through these characters. It doesn't feel like the characters are speaking for themselves. Because that just felt like an admission of like, look, this is what we do every episode. It's like, we jangle the keys. Oh, look, here's the Legion. Jangle, jangle, jangle. Oh, look, here's NCR. Jangle, jangle, jangle. And it's like, that's not good. So, Maximus fights the Death Claws while the Ghoul heads into the Lucky 38. He defeats one Death Claw, and then the Ghoul just abandons him, and he has to fight the others.
And there's multiple.
There's like 3 or 4.
And they're very hard to fight, and
he's not doing very well.
No.
Because he sucks. Because he's Maximus. He's always sucked. And then the Ghoul goes to the top of the Lucky 38 to find Mr. House, who apparently... See, we still don't know which ending they are going with from the game. Because there's multiple endings that you could go for. So we don't know which one they have chosen. But we do know, I guess, that Mr. House was turned off. Because the Ghoul goes into this other room and he puts the Cold Fusion inside this machine, and he reboots, or he wakes up Mr. House, and Mr. House has returned. That was my favorite part of the episode. If the whole episode was like that, I would have given the episode an A+. But I'm not going to give the episode an A+.
I don't like it.
But, I guess the Ghoul's gonna work with Mr. House now, and like that'll be a story. Like, I don't know. I really don't care. I'm so disinterested. I'm so not invested in anything that's going on right now. I just couldn't care less. I'd rather go play the game. I'd rather go play Fallout New Vegas. And I'm saying that as someone who likes Season 1. I'm not saying that as some hater who is saying like, Fallout sucks. Fallout's always terrible. I'm not one of those types of people, but I understand where those people are coming from. But this show has objectively fallen off. Too many storylines and too many characters. And the story with Mr. House. What do you think, Safi?
I don't like this episode. I just don't. And I asked Marco, I go, I bet he's not even alive. I bet that's just a recording. I don't believe that he's really alive.
No.
And Marco says, no, that isn't how the game goes. So you know what? I'm thinking, Marco's talking about, Marco just said this a little while ago. Well, they have multiple endings, and it could be this or that or whatever. Okay. My thing is, well, maybe they wrote up a new ending.
Oh.
And I would believe it if they did that.
That would really piss me
But
off.
I just don't know how all this, you know, in all these other series, you kind of have, it's like each story is a thread. And the thread goes to this one spool. And so all of these threads would come together to the one spool, but I don't see how this is going to happen. With this one, there's just too many things.
Yeah.
And they either don't or vaguely connect or come together. And I really, you know, you've got you have Lucy. She's wearing a yellow sundress. Now, I think in the picture or the, you know, when they show the trailers, she was wearing an orange one, or they showed an orange one on a bust. But she's wearing a yellow, bright yellow. So you have that picture of her staring in horror, or whatever you want to call it, at this head. Then you've got another picture, Norm. Norm he's little. And these people are about ready to kill him. And I don't get why.
They'll kill the Asian girl now, too.
Yeah. Why? And then you have the ghoul. And he puts this fusion in, and Mr. House shows up. To me, it's just a recording. I don't think he's still alive.
No,
you have all these like pictures.
You finish your point, yeah.
It's like an album of pictures.
Yeah.
From the episode, because the stories are so short and fragmented, and they don't really go together very well. And and that's why I don't like this episode at all. So that's it. I give it a D. A D minus.
Oh. Safi's never given that kind of grade before. No, actually, she has.
Well, but I don't like that. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. I've been reading almost a book a day. Not a video game, but I've read 18 books.
I don't read a video game.
Last month and a half. Plus a couple of nonfiction books. And anyway. And they follow... I've seen enough of a story where everything comes together and makes sense. You know, you've heard lately in the climate we're living in, you hear this line, make it make sense. That's what I have to say about this episode. Make it make sense.
Oh.
So that's it for me.
Safi's having a little rant.
Well, it's disappointing.
Oh. She's disappointed. Earlier in the day, you guys are going to laugh at this. I was in the car with Safi, and I said, you know, I'm a lot more knowledgeable about Fallout. I was making a joke, and then Safi was like, you know, Marco, the thing about that is that you have to care. And Safi basically admitted she doesn't care about Fallout at all. It was so funny. Like, why do you watch the show then? Like, if you don't care about it. It's so goofy. Like, I don't care about what happens in this show anymore, but I do care about the Fallout universe and I did before Bethesda ruined it, but like, yeah. Well, see, in the game, Mr. House is alive on this big screen.
But I'm telling you that they could make a new ending that you don't know about.
Well, I know. People have said that. People have said that it's another robot character that is impersonating him, and that they're going with that ending where the robot... Well, there's multiple endings again, so I don't want to reveal too much else. Safi doesn't know about Mr. House and what really happened to him.
No, I don't. And I could say he could be cryogened.
Well...
That would make sense to me. That he's cryogened.
Well, I'll just give you...
I know that's not the proper word, but that's my word.
I'll just give you a hint. the character is not based on modern people. Mr. House was originally based on Howard Hughes. Was that the name?
Oh.
Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes.
When
he does look like him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was based on him. In the game, he looks even more like him, and so that's his inspiration.
Oh.
And
he's weird. He was weird.
Yeah.
Weird. He was insane.
Mr. House is cool, though. Like, again, I could watch a whole show with just Mr. House in the apocalypse, like him coming back to life some weird, stupid way and then trying to take over the wasteland. Like, I'd rather watch that. I'd rather just watch a show called The House Always Wins. But I did love the idea at the end of the ghoul. The ghoul kind of used Maximus, too. He's just kind of like, screw him, so that he can go wake up Mr. House. Some people have said that maybe Mr. House will get all of the Securitron robots back up online, and then they will help Maximus defeat the Death Claws. I think that would make the most sense. So, I would give this episode a D. Just a D.
Okay, well, I
Not
did
a
want to
D
say
minus.
something. The dog is still alive.
Yeah.
And it's as healthy as the day you first saw it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a beautiful dog.
There's a dog in the show.
It's a well-trained dog, a Belgian Malinois.
Oh, yeah.
You have to read about them. They are really, really smart. So
I remember the dog.
He was there. He was there when Maximus is wearing this suit, and the other ghoul is there, and his arm falls off. The dog is there with them, and then you don't see the dog anymore. He's gone off. And but anyway, people like dogs. There's a lot of things on YouTube about dogs, and this is a beautiful, beautiful dog, and it's very well trained, and you don't see much of it. But anyway, it's still alive and it's still hanging around. Part of the story, although I'm not really sure how you view him as part of the story, but he's kind of like, I don't know, the scenery.
Key jangling.
Hopefully he stays alive through the end of the series.
Key jangling to the fans. But anyways, my final comment for this review is that, again, it feels like we are heading for a mid-season finale. It does not feel like a whole season has gone by, and there's lots of people on Twitter who feel the same way, and they feel like, look, like this does not... TV has really gone in a bad direction now. Because to have 8 episodes of a show, and then it doesn't even feel like a season of TV, to have all these storylines, it's really terrible. But practically everyone is saying we need more episodes. We need more episodes. And I gotta be honest, too. If they had 24 episodes, it might even be worse. Because if they're this bad at telling a story in 8 episodes, then having 24 episodes, they're gonna die. They're gonna just collapse. They'll get told, okay, guys, you gotta write 24 episodes for this season. You know what'll happen? And then they'll fall over and die. Because they couldn't handle it. Because these modern writers, I don't know what's going on. Like, TV used to be about long-form storytelling. It used to be about watching characters develop for a long period of time, watching multiple stories develop over a long period of time, and because of this bullshit about you can't overstay your welcome, which is literally what TV was made for, we have these shows that are basically glorified miniseries. And that's exactly what Fallout is. And it's very disappointing. So, that's my last comment.
With the game like this, where you have multiple stories, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Well, as I think I brought up before, you could spend 50 to 70 hours playing Fallout, like one game in the series.
Oh boy.
So that's a lot of story. So you have to really be selective about what story you're telling in a show, even if it's 24 episodes. Okay?
Okay, that's it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, become one of our subscribers. Tell us what you thought of the episode. Do you have any ideas about how to make this season better? That was too late. But, what do you think about the dog?
Get different
You like
writers.
dogs? You like this dog? It's a beautiful dog.
Get different writers.
Um,
Get Mr. House to write the
but
show.
remember, and this is from today, I mean our political climate, and it refers to this season. Make it make sense. Okay? So,
Oh, you forgot. We
Marco
also
has
have a Patreon. And we highly encourage you to go over and check that out and join, because if you do, you are helping keep this channel alive. And also, we have tons of bonus videos on there, my short film, behind the scenes of my short film, and the full unedited movie reviews, because permanently on this channel, all of our movie reviews are split in half. The non-spoiler portion is available for free, but if you want to see the spoiler, you want to see the whole review, you got to head on over to Patreon.
all right. Well, goodbye, everybody.
Bye!